you, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi, Rabbi.
Okay, that's okay, good. So we're here again, God willing, in another shiur as a preparation for Shabbos. As we're going to start with a tradition halacha, and we are holding in the halacha of cooking that we should not make objects that soften or harden by the fire, by heating. And we mentioned last time that according to the Ashkenazim, you can take shower with cold water only part of the body, after a part of the body. You can't take a shower of your whole body. You gotta divide and wash each organ by itself. And according to Sfaradim, halacha, they can take a cold shower all their body. That's cold water and not hot water during Shabbat. One more thing about that, if some things that appears to be like cooking, it's not really, but there are a few things that our sages of blessed memory had advised us to do. One of them is you have a hot water, a wet towel. It happens many times that many people are washing hands by the kitchen for Seudah, and then the towel becomes moist and even kind of wet, and the urn of the hot water is right there next to where we are in the kitchen, and it could be that you just put the towel, wet towel, I don't know, on the urn or close to the urn. You have to be careful not to put a wet cloth near enough for a heating source, that in such a way that the water in that cloth could be heated up to the temperature that we mentioned a while ago of that 45 cell. Remember the temperature? What is it? 93 Fahrenheit. Yeah, 104 Fahrenheit to 150. 104 to 150. That's considered to be a temperature that water are getting like we're not supposed to get any item heated up to that level, that degree of heat. And so therefore we have to be careful about this towel that can get heated up from the hot urn. There is a tomorrow night we're gonna do Kidduush. We're gonna make Kidduush, right? As Kidduush, as we spoke many times before, the word Kidduush comes from the word Kadosh. Kadosh in simple English means holy, but not in Lashon HaKodesh, not in Hebrew. In Hebrew, the word Kadosh means separated, excluded, different, divided from something else. And the classical idea to remember that and to take the idea away from thinking that Kadosh is holy, that if we remember what is happening under the chuppah, when the chassan and kala are getting married, the chassan, the groom, tells his bride, "Harei at mekudeshet li, you are kadosh to me, kedat Moshe v'Yisrael," according to the law of the Torah, das Moshe, das Israel. So if you could think that whole mekudeshet means holy, then is the chatan saying to his wife, "Harei at, here you are holy for me, holy to me"? Doesn't make sense. But what he does say to her, he says to her, "Haret mekudeshet li, you are separated only to me. You're excluded only to me and not for anyone else in the world. This is Kiddush, separation. Same thing by Kiddush over Shabbos night. We are separating the Shabbos. It's like a sword, cutting in the mundane, push it away, and cutting the entrance into the sacred, to the holy Shabbos Kodesh. Ashreinu, Ashreinu, Matov Chalkeinu. So I'll read to you from this beautiful book that I have over here, which is called Yismechu B'Malchuscha. You see the gold color, how it is shining? Yeah, this how Shabbos shines in the whole world. This how Shabbos will shine to you and to all of us together. One of the holiest moments and the excelled and uplifted moments of the Shabbos Malka, the Queen, is the time of Kiddush on Friday night, which is in that moment of the Kiddush, Reb Nosson of Breslev brings down in Likutei Halakhos that the whole sanctification, the whole Kiddush of Shabbos is depending on those moments of making Kiddush Friday night. So it's worthwhile to prepare yourself for that moment. And if you can bring wine, it's better to bring wine than grape juice, because wine makes you happy, makes you joyful, joyous. And if we are getting into Kiddush in the right intention, we are worthy to elevate our Shabbos completely, the whole Shabbos further on, because it depends on that moment of those holy moments of the Kiddush. When we gaze at the candles, we look at the candles, and we bring the Kedusha of the candles from our eyes into the cup of wine. This Kedusha can be transferred, and we are observing the Kedusha from the Shabbos candles, and with our eyes transforming it, like transmitting it to the wine. Yeah, this is the secret of Kiddush, according to Kabbalah. And when you drink the wine, you should have a kavana that you're drinking the light. With the wine, there's a light of the candles. There's Ora Shabbos, the light of Shabbos. You become a vessel of receiving and transmitting light. This is a wonderful experience. So it is a mitzvah from the Torah. The Torah is demanding it's not a rabbinical mitzvah to make Kiddush. It's a biblical mitzvah to make Kiddush. What is rabbinical is the wine. That our sages have understood that the Kiddush has to be over wine. If you don't have wine, you can make Kiddush over bread. But so we see that because the changes that are taking place with the items we're making Kiddush on, such as wine, bread, it changes. We can feel that this is not biblical, because biblical never changes. Biblical is like a sharp sword. If you can, you do. If you can't, you don't do. Let's say if you don't have tefillin, you don't put tefillin, but you wouldn't put sponges of water instead of tefillin because you want to fulfill the mitzvah of tefillin. It's not happening. So it's midoraisa. From the biblical mitzvah, you cannot change it. So, but the actual activity of Kiddush is midoraisa, is biblical mitzvah. And here, a person become partner with God in the creation and the Maaseh Bereshis. Our sages have spoken highly about the rewards that one will get for making Kiddush. And the Gemara in Masechet Shabbos, Daf Kuf Yutet, page 119, Masechet Shabbat, brings as follows: whoever davens Friday night and say Vayechulu and say the Kiddush, two holy angels that are accompanying him from Shul are laying, so to speak, their hands on his head, and they say to him, your sin, your avers are erased, are gone. You are a new being, a new person, a new creature. Shabbos dika creature, and person is worthy to have long life and good years, says Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, that a sage, one of the Tanaim, that is whomever makes Kiddush over Shabbos can have long life. And the Zohar HaKadosh asked a question: why do we say L'chaim over Kiddush? Right? The person who makes the Kiddush holds a cup of wine and he says, Savrim Anan Rabboisai, listen to me. The audience, everybody is here around, and everybody who listens to them, you say L'chaim, and then he says, he starts the bracha Baruch Atah Hashem Borei Pri HaGefen, because by making says the Zohar, by saying L'chaim, we kind of remember that by making Kiddush over wine, a person is metaken, is fixing the sin of Adam Arishon back in the 6th day of creation, Ma'aseh Bereshis, and because some of our sages said that the tree of knowledge was grapes, so we are taking a liquid made of grapes, which is wine, and we're elevating and cleansing the sin of Adam Arishon. And because Adam Rishon brought death into the world because of his sin, when we make Kiddush over wine and we say Savrim Anan and we're responding L'chaim, we're showing us, we're teaching the world and everybody around us that actually we are bringing everything for life. We're changing the death into life. And we're connecting ourselves, it says over here in the Zohar, we're connecting ourselves with the tree of life, Ilan HaChaim, which has no grasp of judgment whatsoever, and not like the wine that we could sometimes drink during the weekdays. During Shabbos, there's no judgments on the wine, and no hold, no grasp, no foothold, the impurity and the klippos, the negative forces has no grasp in that wine, because it's Shabbos wine. More, said the Zohar. Because of that, the Kiddush, the words of the Kiddush are counted for 70 letters. And because, again, it teaches us that by making Kiddush with these 70 words, 70 tevos in the Kiddush, and to teach us, to remind us that we are excluding ourselves from the power of the impurity, which want to have a foothold, a grasp in Shabbat, but we are not letting them coming in. We're pushing them aside, and we're preparing ourselves to engage ourselves in complete holiness without any judgments. And therefore, wine, is the same numerical value as 70, because we have 70 words in the Kiddush. And yain is the gematria of Shiv'im, 70. That, again, to teach us that by the Kiddush of a wine, a person can be saved from the forces of impurity that have control in the weekdays, and they cause sadness and agony in the world. But that person who make Kiddush over wine when Shabbat starts, he's zoiche for Simchas HaShabbos. He's worthy and zoiche for the joy, to be joyful over Shabbos and full of Simchas all the time. So again, wishing good Shabbos, and we'll see you next week. If you have somebody with a question, I'll be happy to answer.
Very inspiring. Thank you. Good. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. That's amazing.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Happy to
Good
see all of you.
Shabbos.
Yeah. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Sei
Roseli.
gesund.
Yes, sei gesund, Richard. Good to see you all.
A lichtigen Shabbos.
Yiratzon, God willing.
Bye.
Bye. God willing.
Talk
For
to you.
everything. Thank you.
Shabbos.
Shabbos. Good Shabbos.